So today I went to Super Jersey Comic Expo, my first time there. But on the way down, I hit the flea market. And I scored the flea market Grail at the Expo. Let's take a look at the books I picked up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Before we get started, like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff. Follow us on other social medias, Instagram at Bronzeville_comics. I'm on Whatnot, Bronzeville_comics there also. We do sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And the 30th, October 30th, is our Bronze Age horror sale. So tune into that. Also, there is a link in the description of this video. If you've not yet signed on to Whatnot and you use the link, you can get $10 off your first purchase. That purchase doesn't have to be with me. Also in the description of this video is a link to my eBay store as well as my email. So, I set out on a journey this morning. So we are up and out early this morning, heading to New Jersey for Super Jersey Comic-Con, but we have a pit stop before we get there, and it's not for coffee. So I gotta fight traffic now, because people drive like maniacs getting onto the GWB. So here we are, we're making our first stop of the day. We are headed to the Meadowlands Flea Market, and it's been about probably a month since we've had a Saturday here in the New York area with good weather, where it made sense to hit up the flea market. So, yeah, we're going to see what's here, and gives us still plenty of time. This is kind of almost en route to Super Jersey. So that's, good place to stop. Got up a little bit early, hit the ATM, and now hitting the flea market. Here at the flea, I just picked up a nice stack of Copper Age comics for like 60 bucks. At McFarlane Conan's, and some Cap Keys, and some Craven's Last Hunt. So there's some good stuff in there. Just doing one last lap before we give ourselves enough time to head to Super Jersey. So we'll just do a little bit of a look at what the flea market looks like on a Saturday morning. It's getting busy. I was here, I guess, right before official start time. I think it opens at 8. I was here, what was I here? I think it was here at 8:10. So, so far so good. Good morning. Very, very happy. Let's see if we see any comic books. Sometimes you end up looking for like white comic book short and long boxes, but sometimes the best stuff is just like a pile of stuff that nobody knows what it is. I'm not interested in clothes or motorbikes or any of that sort of stuff. Some baskets. Is this? They've had comics before. I think maybe not. No. Toys. So it was a beautiful day at the flea market, and there were a few comic vendors. I didn't have much time to spend because I wanted to go to the New Jersey Comic Expo, which was a little further south in Jersey, so it was about a 45-minute drive, but I did score some books. So one guy had a bunch of $2 books, some newer stuff. Picked through. Condition was variable. So it's nice. 40-cent House of Mystery. Namor #1, John Byrne. I'm not sure. There were 2 covers to this Justice League of America #1. I need to make sure I have both of those. Captain Britain and MI-13. This is one of those Blade keys. I don't think that's the one where he joins, though. Another House of Mystery. Well, or this is House of Mystery. The first one was House of Secrets. This is the first cameo appearance of the Time Variance Authority. A little bit lower grade. It's like a, I don't know, like maybe a fine-ish copy. Most of these were not bagged or boarded. Creature Commandos, Weird War Tales 112. It's Medusa cover. Medusa is going to be one of the characters in the Creature Commandos TV animated series. Lobo, Paramilitary Christmas Special #1. Everything Lobo's coming up. The 12. This was a series I had gotten most of the issues of, but this is issue 1/2. So it was a Marvel series about some of the much lesser known characters from their golden age, including like some characters that had like just one appearance. Atari Force #1. Video game books are hot, although not so much with Atari. But that's my generation of video games. I had gotten the Atari 2600 for Christmas I think it was a sophomore in high school. That was a big highlight, especially, we were playing Space Invaders. Anyway, this pretty sharp copy of Tarzan 209. This is from 1972. I already have a copy. I want to see if this is an upgrade over the PC copy. Spider-Man 341 newsstand. Then, this is an interesting one. Secrets of Haunted House, #32. Just kind of random. Spider-Woman #1. This is the Maddie Franklin? No. This is the Spider-Woman that's the granddaughter of Madam Web. Gosh knows what's going on with that movie. Over at Sony. Then there was another vendor. He had just a handful of books. Marvel Collector's Item Classics #3. This is solid condition. There is some fraying at the spine here, but all reprint issue. But still, for a square bound in mid-grade. Then you have Avengers Forever #1. This is, I think, the first appearance of Genesis Vel. Is that Marvel's son, I think, or something? I don't know. Avengers Forever 9. This is kind of puts together all the pieces and tells the origin of Kang. I figured I'd pick this up. Marvel Milestone, issue 14 for Sabretooth. Iron Fist 14, I should say. Punisher from the Marvel Knights era #1. And then there was a vendor who had he had a couple of boxes I went through, and I picked out just a few books. And he says, you want to buy more books? I'm like, oh, what do you mean? He goes, and he pulls out a couple other boxes from a collection. All this stuff was bagged and boarded, but in high grade, but there aren't really... I wish there were like 9/8 contenders, because there's some really good books in here. This just ASM 374, nice Venom cover. Gambit #1. This actually was loose, but it's in decent shape for its age. A 25-cent Ghost Rider #9. And I was key collectoring this the whole time. Web of Spider-Man 71st Spider Hulk. They had a ton of Cap books. Captain America. And most of them were like back-to-back. So you had 324 and then 325. And or no, 323, I should say. 323, which is the first appearance of John Walker as Super Patriot. 359 and 360, first Crossbones. 354, where Walker becomes U.S. agent. Right? And then 355, which doesn't have... 341 classic cover. I think this is an homage to Daredevil 43. First appearance of Lamar Hoskins as Battlestar. We saw him in the TV series. And then this is the first full appearance of Coach Whip. Not really a big key. This is the bigger Hoskins key, right, as Bucky. This is his first appearance as Bucky, I believe. Yep. And then 333, the first appearance of John Walker as Cap.
Captain America, I should say. I don't think we give him the full advantage of the nickname. 331 and 332. Steve Rogers resigns his cap. 327, first cover of John Walker. And 328, this first appearance of Demolition Man in costume. Never quite understood that character, to be honest with you. Then we had, let's see, put these, yeah. 307, first appearance of Madcap. There had been rumors that Madcap was going to be in Deadpool 3. We'll see, maybe everybody's going to be in Deadpool 3. And then 308, first appearance of Armadillo. 309, but the key is 310, first appearance of the Serpent Society. So that you can see there's a large collection of Cap books. And then you had 311 and 312 as first appearance of Flag Smasher. So that's it for the Cap. And then you had some Thor keys. And again, these were back-to-back, so I just grabbed the package. I wasn't taking individual books out. They were $2 a pop. I got them like just bundled for less than that. Thor 390, Cap wields Mjolnir. Then this was a single. 411, first cameo appearance of the New Warriors. And 412, first full appearance of the New Warriors. Then we had Web Spider-Man 31. Part 1 of the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline. And then Part 4 in issue 32 with this classic Mike Zeck cover. And then this is a very pricey book in a 9.8. It's not quite a 9.8. It's very sharp. And that's Web of Spider-Man 36. This is the first appearance of Tombstone. This book I think I'm going to hold on to. Just, see if Tombstone appears. And then, again, these bundles, Conan 340, and then, or 240, and then 241, this classic Todd McFarlane cover. This is like a $500 book, I think, in a 9.8, or it had hit $500. This might get submitted. I'm not sure. I don't think it's a 9.8. And then another book that's like $300 in a 9.8 is the next issue, which is this classic Jim Lee cover. And then there's the 243 thrown in. So that was it for the flea market. I think I did pretty well on that pile of books. A lot of semi-minor keys. And again, some books, I think the Tombstone book is also close to $300 in a 9.8, but like less than $100 in a 9.6. So you really get the premium for that. So then I drove down to Holmdel, New Jersey for the Super Jersey Comic Expo. So I'm trying to figure out where we're going. We're approaching, I think, Super Jersey Comic-Con. Shops, I guess, up ahead. Let's look for some signs. Visitors, I guess that's us. Oh, event parking straight ahead. I guess we're the event. Right? So, we'll be hopefully heading into the show in just a few minutes, going around this little lake. So, my first time ever at Super Jersey Comic-Con. Let's check it out. So I didn't have much time to spend there because I did have stuff to take care of at home. So I just scoped out. I was flipping through. I didn't see anything, any wall books that jumped out at me that I was particularly interested in within my budget for the day. So I just dove into some bins and got some books. These Legion first appearances and the Neil Adams cover on top of that. Adventure 371, first appearance of Chemical King. And then this is a pretty sharp copy. This might be the PC copy, is Adventure 373. This is the first appearance of the Tornado Twins, who are the grandchildren of Barry Allen. Again, a Neil Adams cover. Marvel Team Up 68. With Man-Thing, this is the first appearance of Despair. And then this, a newsstand edition of All-Star Squadron 23. This, and I've talked about this book in an underrated key. This is not a 9.8, but this is the first appearance of Amazing Man. This character that Roy Thomas created, who's African-American. There weren't really any African-American superheroes, obviously, in the Golden Age. But created this character, and pretty cool book. I'm a big All-Star Squadron fan. And then I was watching one of the Comic Tom videos, and Russ from Milgeek Comics says, Ambush Bug was a character that nobody was specking on. I'm like, wait, over here. If you've watched my videos, you've seen this book a number of times. DC Comics presents 52. This is a newsstand edition. This is the first appearance of Ambush Bug, of course, created by the late Keith Giffen. And this hit the trending 10. Copies were sold. James Gunn, in I think in a tweet or in an X, after the passing of Keith Giffen, talked about this particular issue. So, and I think it makes sense. Another vendor, I picked up two. They had a couple 100-pagers that I needed. House of Mystery, 228. I'm trying to collect all these DC 100-page super spectaculars. And 227. Okay, the 220 is in nicer shape. And then there was another vendor, and these books are all sharp. I probably should have just grabbed the run of these, because this is a run that's hard to get-ish, but does have some significance. And a couple of these books might get sent off. I had a couple of books. Let me see. There are a couple of books that are lesser. Now, this is listed in Key Collector as a key. Maybe they mean first cover appearance of Green Fury becomes Fire. More about her later. And then I just threw this in, this Justice League key. This is, I think this is the first part. Yeah, the first part of the two-parter. The second part is one where it's Superman and Shazam going against each other. That's the first time we see that in continuity. It reintroduces all those Fawcett Age heroes, or the Fawcett heroes that DC had acquired. Fawcett was the original publisher of Captain Marvel, who we now know as Shazam. And then Bullet Man and Bullet Girl were there. Ibis the Invincible was also in Wiz Comics number 2, which is the first appearance of Captain Marvel. Mr. Scarlet and Pinky. They were really Batman and Robin ripoffs. And then Spy Smasher was also in that Wiz Comics number 1. Spy Smasher actually had his own movie serial back in the day. So then I picked up these. This, and it's a really sharp copy of Super Friends 25. This is the first appearance of Beatriz DaCosta, known as Green Fury, known as Fire, who was a core member of the Justice League International when Keith Giffen did the book with Kevin Maguire and J.M. DeMatteis. This is, I mean, maybe it's definitely in the 9294 plus range, right? Which is hard for this title because it was a kid's title, right? It was based on the cartoon, and it introduced a few characters and in the run versions of, obviously out of continuity, both Fire in this book, and we saw a cover appearance in the other book, and Ice, and they have their own series now. Fire and Ice, they were both a big part of that. And then this, also a pretty sharp copy of this classic Brian Boland cover, Justice League of America 190. And finally, this is also a really sharp copy, a direct copy of, we talked about this, All-Star Squadron 23. And I had talked about, this is one of the books that is just as is north of $100 in a 9.8. And maybe we could give it a clean impress and see. And, you know, I collected All-Star Squadron, so this is a book I want in a 9.8 anyway. If I did get it, it would stay in the PC. And then the final book I picked up was a book that I already bought and paid for. My buddy Joe from 360 Comics was set up there, and he had gotten a collection in that had this book, and this is a book that I've always wanted. It's a grail of mine. Mid-grade, lower end of mid-grade, but it does really help round out the collection. So I picked it up from him, and it is Justice League of America #1. Justice League, of course, got their start in Brave and the Bold, number 28. They had a 3-issue tryout. And what DC did at the time, they would do tryouts either in Showcase or Brave and the Bold before a character got their own title, like Flash, Green Lantern, Adam Strange. Well, he didn't get his own title, but, you know, Challengers the Unknown, and Hawkman, Metamorpho, Teen Titans, a whole bunch, Aquaman, and but this is issue #1 of the ongoing series. Now, what's really strange about this, and it had me pause for a second, I'm like, that's weird. There's no issue number on it. And I don't know if it was an oversight or simply the fact that back then, #1s weren't as coveted as they would become probably in the 1970s more. The, you know, grocery store owners and the folks that, you know, put these on the newsstands, there were no comic shops, they were kind of wary of #1s. It was something new and unproven. That's why the Showcase, the Brave and the Bold, etc. You know, issue number 28. Well, that's been around for a couple of years. We know that somebody buys it, so they just kind of stuck that in because obviously in the Brave and the Bold appearances, the Justice League of America trade dress was rather prominent. I think this is like a 4, maybe. Pretty solid grade. Glad to have that. And I do have to like kind of go through everything in my mess of a comic room. I'm pretty close to finishing the Justice League of America run. The original run, 252 issues. I'm not sure what else I need. I know I have 2 and 3 and 4. I might need like maybe 2 issues under 20. So I'm really going to have to, you know, go through my comics. And that's why I go to shows and I'm like looking, I'm like, I don't know, which book do I need? Because I picked some books up in the last couple of years and I didn't catalog them all. So anyway, that was my haul for today at the Comic Expo. I know there were a bunch of people came up to me and said hello. Really appreciate that. And it was a little bit further south in Jersey than the usual Jersey shows, so there was more of a crowd up in Philadelphia. It was a little bit bigger show, so saw some people and some vendors you don't often see. Unfortunately, I didn't have really time to hunt. That was unfortunate for my haul, but fortunate for my wallet. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. I really appreciate it. You know, let me know what you think of these books in the comments below. And take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.